Polyamory is a form of consensual non-monogamy in which three or more people invested in a relationship that there may be emotional or physical components. One large factor to polyamorous relationships is intimacy. Partners in this situation may share intimacy with some but not all participants. This can allow people to have needs that cannot be met by one person be satisfied by other partners. One example may be when there is a difference in sex drive. In order for people to be successful with this practice, a few factors need to be considered. Open communication and honesty are among these factors. Any type of miscommunication in the relationship about boundaries may possibly lead to one or more parties getting jealous or upset. Upon initiation of intimacy with multiple people, someone will be able to learn more about themselves due to different aspects of their personality being exposed with each partner. Due to polyamorous relationships sharing many aspects with monogamous ones, one could use this as justification for legal rights, such as protection and employment. A benefit to non-monogamy is the ability to explore topics of interest that some partners might not be comfortable with, such as kinks and fantasies. It allows people to better understand what traits they may look for in a partner, with a higher opportunity for exposure. Due to the vast complexity of polyamory, it is important to consider the aspects of this relationship style before jumping into it. Although swinging is similar to polyamory in some regards, it is also seen as less complex. Swinging is a primarily physical interaction, while polyamory involves emotional aspects of a relationship as well. Non-confrontational communication may help those in a relationship bring up insecurities while avoiding a fight. This method may involve the use of I messages instead of you messages to avoid placing blame. There are various instances where polyamorous relationships have been very successful. An example would be the experience of Tim, Lily, and Rick. Tim and Lily met at work and soon began dating. Eventually, they would get married. Before the marriage, however, they both agreed upon terms that their relationship would be open, meaning that they could date other people. 10 years later, Lily admitted that she was in love with one of the men she was dating. Tim put his insecurities aside and allowed it to continue. He did not understand why others said he should shut it down and control his wife more, as if she were property. Eventually, Rick moved into the couple's vacation home, becoming somewhat of a caretaker for the family and their children. In human history, events like this were fairly common. Instead of segregation, communities cared for and helped one another. Emotional diversity plays a large role in relationships people maintain during life. Oh no! What? Oh. Emotional diversity plays a large role in relationships people maintain during life. Since no experience is black and white, the ability to look at different perspectives is crucial. In relationships, being able to compromise so that problems do not arise is critical. Romantic compromises involve accepting something that has negative aspects and not giving up on the relationship and trying to look for other options. Many people stay in unhappy relationships with the hope that things will get better, thinking that they're compromising, although they might not be in that current situation. With polyamory, emotions are bound to be more complex, as there are more people to be considered. Evidence showed that older people in non-exclusive relationships scored higher in health and personal happiness. Polyamorous relationships were also more likely to support higher levels of intimacy. Although past studies have found that people who practiced non-monogamy were white, a recent study didn't see any significance in respect to race. Although many people reported having an open relationship agreement, few acted upon it. It was found that gay men were most likely to act on it when such an agreement took place. It was found that members of the LGBT community were more likely to enter polyamorous relationships than white participants. Representation of certain racial minorities and those of lower socioeconomic class may be attributed to the stigma that can come from being a member of that kind of community, especially when they don't have the certain privileges that white people may have. Overall, there's much to consider when looking at polyamory.